Okay, so we are rise and shining. Hope no, forget it. You're already shining. So, and now we're gonna rise. Actually, we're gonna get on the floor, foam roll. You're also gonna need a pillow because we are gonna do some half kneeling or just a blanket or yoga mat, whatever is good for you. Or if you kneel on the ground and it's okay on your knee, that's fine. But we all have smashed our knees somehow. So having something is great. And then you just need a foam roller. That's the only equipment you need. Let's get started with rolling our calves. So everyone get down. We're going to do our full one side of our body. We did this last week as well. Full one side of our body, and then we'll get to the other side. So I am starting this timer for our calves. So if you guys heard the beginning of the conversation before we started the class, Jessica and I were talking about a mountain bike trip next weekend. On Monday, there will not be Rise and Shine because I will be rising and shining from a cabin in Tahoe that we have mountain bikes to. And so I will be out of service, which is awesome. And so you guys will have a class from the archives. All right, so that's 30 seconds. So one more minute. So get onto another part of your calf. So we are making sure we get the whole calf here. So I did the back of my calf to start. Then I'm going to the side, and then I'll go to the inner calf once we get to the next 30 seconds. Nicole, glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. All right. If you want to put your camera on, great. If not, doesn't matter. All right, so now that was a minute. So we're doing the next 30 seconds on your calf. So whatever part you haven't done or a part that feels like it needs super extra attention, we're doing 90 seconds per side. Nicole, on our calves, we're foam rolling one whole side of our body. Well, not the whole thing, but we're gonna foam roll one side, then we'll go to the other side. So we're just gonna get our calves, we're gonna get hips, and then glutes. All right, so everyone go ahead and switch. So same side, and let's get our hip. So if you normally have a hip routine, let's just do that. We're doing 1 minute. It's begun here. I like to get it into that crease a little bit towards my inner thigh because it's uncomfortable. So I do the more uncomfortable part first. And then I'll give you the 30-second warning, and you can go towards the outside, or you decide however you want to do it. But you can see I'm not rolling at all. What I'm doing is I'm focused on one spot, and then I'm just moving my body. So this is more like a pin and stretch. So we've been going for 30 seconds here. We've got 30 more seconds on this hip. All right, so if you've got a spot that just feels good, you can stay there. It doesn't matter to me. Now I'm going to do that same pin and stretch idea for myself on the side. Some of you are rolling up and down. It does not matter. I want you to get the foam rolling that feels right for you. Don't stick on a spot that's painful. Go above or below it. Okay, we got 10 more seconds, and then that feels like it goes by fast. Obviously, I need a little bit more time on this hip. All right, and then let's go ahead, same side, but onto our glute. So glutes, you can either have your leg extended or in a figure four. If you want to get to that glute knee, the side butt there, I like that figure four, but you can decide. Breathe. All right. So yes, so as I said, next week on Monday, there will be no live Rise and Shine, but I'm going to leave a class from the archives so you can do that. I'll be off the grid, which I'm looking forward to, and hopefully not dying from a difficult mountain bike. All right, so we've got 30 more seconds on our glute here. And then we'll go to the other side. I know we haven't done the whole side of our body, but I want us to get sort of the major points here. We want to free up our ankles. That helps with our calves. And then getting hips and glutes. All right. My sister just typed in that the Monday after that, I'm going to be with her in the Turks and Caicos. Well, actually, that is not true. The next Monday after, I am going to be at a long layover on the East Coast. So I'm going to actually attempt Rise and Shine from the airport. So everyone switch sides. We're back onto our calves, other side. 90 seconds starts now. So go ahead and think about your calf. What's the plan? You can do lower, middle, upper, or outside, base, inside, whatever it is, but let's get started. So yeah, so next week, archives, the week after, I'm going to try and pull off teaching class from the airport. I figure it's a giant airport and I have lots of time, so I have plenty of time to scope out a gate that has no one flying from it and see if I can do class there. I'll probably get lots of stairs, and it may not work out because of who knows what. Travel can be crazy at this time of year, but I'm going to try it because I mostly think it'll be funny and I'll have the time. So why wouldn't I do it? So let's see what happens in 2 weeks from now. All right. We're going to be celebrating my sister's birthday. So I know, lucky me, I get to go help. Sorry, that was 30 seconds. I skipped over that one. So switch your spot if you need to. Don't neglect. Don't just stick on one spot. We've got lots of calf muscle here, big range. All right, so 30 more seconds, because I sort of compressed our time. Sorry about that. We got Chia here. Hi, lady. We have officially passed, let's see, 9 days. And I think that I would say, how is it going? We're going backwards, I think. I think we need a dog trainer, because this morning when I went to take her for a stroll, she would not go more than 3 houses down one way, and then we tried going the other way, and she went 4 houses that way. So that was usually walking is her jam. Okay, let's switch to our hip. So grab your foam roller, get that hip going, 1 minute. So walking, she's gone on 2-hour walks with me, like no big deal. She went on a run with Brian yesterday. She's been no problem, but I don't know what happened today. So anyway, trying to pretend like everything's amazing. I think she's on to us, that she knows it's not all amazing. So yeah, it's definitely challenging having a very, very shy dog, but we'll see. She's continuing to play her favorite game, The Floor is Lava. All right, we're 30 seconds more. So she just goes from her secret spot, base, to another secret spot, but she likes being here when I'm in here, so that's nice, and it's not so hiding. All right, 10 more seconds on our hip, then we're going to go to our glute, and then we're going to stand up and start our mobility portion. All right, okay, let's get onto our glutes. One side, just the last side. Okay, wow, this side is way tighter than my other side. So Friday night, I had the great pleasure of going for a bike ride. We started at 9 p.m. and went to 1 a.m. I was riding, but everyone else was running. So I was accompanying some of my athletes who are getting ready for their long 100 milers or 200 milers and wanting to test out lights, nutrition strategy for starting in the middle of the night, and things like that. And it was amazing. What a beautiful night. The moon was like a little mini crescent. Okay, so we're 30 seconds in, 30 more seconds. And it was super quiet. We went out in Scappoose on the Crown Zellerbach Trail. For those Portlanders who don't know it, if you want to know more, ask me or look it up. It's fantastic. We did a big loop, and how lucky. So those are the things that I feel so lucky to have: fitness and equipment and the friends to be able to do it. Just going out randomly middle of the night for a run. Why not? All right, 3, 2, let's put our foam rollers to the side, and everyone join me in a frog squat. So we are going to start standing up here, but first we're going to get into this frog squat. We're going to have our hands near our feet, on our ankles, or if you need to have them out in front of you, that's fine. But we're going to do a frog to a forward fold. So from the side, it's going to look like frog here, and then our butt comes up, head comes down, and then we're in that forward fold, and then back down. So this is going to be hard for us with our tight hamstrings, our runner tight hamstrings. We should be able to get fully extended. Woo! But then you're really feeling it. So I don't want you to try and release anything or pop anything or break anything here. You're just going for what feels good. So if that's coming up to a very bent knee, that's fine. Maybe as you go, it'll get a little easier, or maybe you can extend for a second and then just come right back down. Whatever it is, you're aiming your hips up to the ceiling. So you're really trying to just get nice and long through the back of your body. All right. And keeping your neck down. Good. 3, 2. All right. Come on up to standing tall. All right, we are going to do an offset hinge. So the offset means that we're just stepping forward like you're walking, just one step. And then I want you to take your eyes, look like you're peeking over something. So that front leg is feeling that same hamstring stretch that you were feeling from those folds. And then come on back up. All right, so now we're going to go through it a little bit faster, not fast, but just getting our hands back. So now our head and fingers are as far apart as they can, peeking over and come on back up. Let's do 2 more. So come on down, head and fingers far apart, looking over and come on back up. And 1 more time here. Head and fingers far apart, peek over, get up onto your toes a little bit or more weight on your toes and up. Good. We're not up on our toes, but pushing the weight forward a little bit. Okay, so reset your offset. So step forward with the other side. And then you can come forward here. So we're just trying to feel that position, feel it through your foot. See if you can peek over. Imagine like you're looking over a cliff, but we want to stay back and then come on up. All right, so now we'll take it where we put our hands back. We try and get a lot of distance between our head and our fingers. Looking over and come on up. 2 more of these. All right, come on down. Nice flat back. Shoulders stay back. Peeking over. Good. Coming up 1 more time. All right, looking down. Come on, arms, long arms. Get your fingers back. Feel the weight on your toes. And come on up. Nicely done. Okay, let's switch this to an alternating lotus. So I want you to get into this position. Stand here nice and tall for a second. Make sure you're ready. And then I want you to come down nice and slow. Your arms can be used as a counterweight. And then once you feel like, okay, that's my spot, I've sunk it in, see if you can just breathe there for a second. And then go ahead and switch sides. So you don't have to go in sync with me. I want you just to find that balance first before you start sinking down, then sink down into it. It might take you a little longer. Get down as far as you can in your range of motion. You're not trying to hurt here, just trying to get a good stretch. Then breathe at the bottom and then come on up. So these are really slow. That's okay. We're going to do them for 1 more minute. So if you're feeling like, but these are hard, I don't like it, you can just use your transition slowly so you get less reps in, that's fine. But we're working on balance here as well as our mobility. We get really tight in this area. So this is a good way to undo it while we stand on 1 foot, which is super important. All right. Halfway there, so we got 30 more seconds. You're coming down at that bottom. Remember, this is where you hold that, or not hold your breath, sorry, take a breath. Come to the bottom, hold your breath, and just hang out until you're blue. Don't do that, please. All right. Good, hold, get a breath. Okay, we're at 10 more seconds. So if you're feeling like, I'm gonna get uneven, you can quick do 2, whatever you need to do to make your brain satisfied. All right, and 3, 2, nicely done. Okay, let's go ahead and get on the ground. We are going to do some windshield wipers. So windshield wipers, you can get your hands behind you because I want you to make sure that your back is not in a shrimp shape, but in a extended, nice long. So you can have your arms behind you, and then feet are about hip distance apart. So you can bring your knee down and it hits onto the bottom of your foot or doesn't hit, it has space. Now, if you want to, You can come up at the top, sit forward. This just gets us more range through our hip socket. That's that ball joint, so it goes in all the directions, which is great. So we want to move it in all the directions so we can keep moving it in all the directions until we're 90, until we're dead. Not 90, whatever, till we're dead. All right, so keep going here. If you don't come forward, it's fine. You can stay back just here. Absolutely fine. See if you get that knee down to the ground. If it doesn't go to the ground, everyone still likes you. All right, and then let's stop in a 90-90 position. So that is, instead of here, we'll just extend open. And so we're both knees are about 90 degrees. If you can't get them at 90 degrees, an approximation is totally fine. All right, so now we're going to take our chest, take our hands and bring them forward. So our chest is coming down over our knee. If this is enough for you, that's fine. If you can come down and sort of hang out on the ground, good for you. Great, doesn't matter, whichever one feels good. And then the challenge here is I want you to see if you can lift your back foot off the ground. Might be able to do it a centimeter, might be able to do it none, might be able to lift it off quite a bit. So this is just checking that rotation on that back hip. If you can lift it off, do a couple reps. See how that feels. If it feels like you're about to give yourself a cramp, you can stop. No need to do that. We're not cramping or injuring ourselves during mobility. This is when we're restoring ourselves. Don't forget that. All right. And then let's come up and switch to the other side. So switch your 90-90 here. So get into the position that's comfortable for you. Chest gets centered around the knee with your hands, and then come on down, whatever feels good to you. And then see if you can get that back leg to lift off the ground. If you can, get in a couple reps. If not, leave it glued to the ground, totally fine. Something you can work on. It's just that external rotation of the hip. If we can do it, awesome. All right, get in some good breaths. As you breathe out, you might be able to get down a little lower in your position because there's some space. All right, and 3, 2, grab your foam roller. We're gonna lay over our foam roller. So we're gonna take our foam roller, put it right under our butt, and then extend one leg. So what we're gonna do is basically do knee hugs while we're laying over our foam roller. So everyone go ahead and hug one knee. And then huge exhale here. See what that does to your extended leg. As you exhale, that extended leg should relax a little bit and maybe come down a little farther. So do it again. Big exhale. Sorry, I should say first big inhale to make the exhale, but you know what I mean. All right, and then now let's go for an active extended leg. So we have that hip extended. So the knee that's hugged, just leave it there. The one that is extended, I want you to just think about getting that heel pushed out. So instead of pushing it towards the ground, I want you to push it like you're extending your leg by an inch. If that starts feeling terrible on your hip, it's too much, don't do it. But if you can, just push out that heel. We're doing an active stretch here. Good. And then let's switch to the other side. So other side, you're getting that good hug because you are awesome. So why not give yourself a hug and then get some big exhales here. See how that does. We're just hanging that other leg. So that other leg is totally passive, just chill. See what a big exhale does. That helps it dip down a little bit. And then let's extend through the heel. Now active stretch. So we're trying to make that leg a little longer. We're not, but it's getting that push that helps with that active stretch. Pushing the heel helps with the hip. All right, good. And 3, 2, let's take our foam roller and put it in front of us while we get into a child's pose. So we're going to get into that hands and knees position with our foam roller up front. So if we're in a tabletop here, foam rollers up front, Then we're gonna put our hands on the foam roller and then use it to guide us forward while we push our hips back. Then there's space for our head to go without our face smushing onto the ground. You can push that down. And then let's come all the way up, back to hands and knees and push out into the child's pose again. So hands and knees. And then everyone go for it. So roll, use your foam roller to roll your arms out. Head is through. So your biceps are on your ears. You're looking down. Nice long armpits. Pushing heels back. Excellent. All right. So now staying here, let's put one hand on the foam roller. And then the other arm, let's see if we can just twist it up to the ceiling. So that elbow and the hand on the foam roller might drop down. That's okay. Push it up and then switch sides. So switch. Good. This one's definitely not easy. Get in a couple more reps, switching sides as it feels good. Go at your own pace. Twisting up a little bit. Excellent. And then come back up to hands and knees, but your hands are on your foam roller. All right. So now just in this position, we're already here. So why not just a quick cat-cow while we're on our foam roller. That forces us to push down through our chest a little bit more than if we're just regular. It also elevates us a little bit more so we can get a little different parts of our spine. All right, this is not a competitive cat-cow. I say that every time, but I feel the need to. No injuring yourself doing this one. It should feel good. All right, 3, 2, let's switch to that half kneel position that I warned us about. So if you want to get a pillow or a towel or a blanket under your knee, that's going to feel better, especially if you've recently smashed your knees. All right, so Sarah's like, are you talking to me? All right, so get one knee out, facing forward. So eyes forward, knee, toes all forward. All right, so then just grab your foam roller. It makes it easier for us to have something to do with our hands. And then we are going to squeeze our glute as we push our foam roller up. And then we come down, relax everything. So as you push forward, we're not pushing way forward here. We're thinking about pushing up as we squeeze the glute and then come back down. So as you squeeze your glute, you feel that stretch through your hip. That's it. Good. So I'm moving probably 2 inches, maybe forward and back. I'll show you that one. And that's as much of a hip stretch as I get when I squeeze my glute. Good. All right. 3, 2, stay on this side. Now we're going to open up this foot. I had us going forward. So now let's open it. And then we're going to take our foam roller and go the opposite. So now you should feel this in that inner thigh. It should feel good. You should feel like you're getting a stretch as you come over, and your knee can go over your foot, however, whatever your range of motion is. And then good. So this one, we are working lots of things at once. Should feel really good. I keep saying it should feel really good because nothing should feel terrible when we're doing mobility. If you're feeling terrible, you're pushing it too hard. All right, let's go to the other side. Let's go to the other side. And this is where we want our knees forward, feet forward, and then focus on the up. Good. So as you tighten your glute, that stretches the hip. And come on up. That's it. You got it. All right. Nice, tall. We're making ourselves super tall here. As we squeeze through the glutes. All right. And 3, 2, 1. Change your position. You know what to do. We did it on the other side. So we're getting knee out and then getting that twist. See how that feels on that inner thigh. Good. Trying to keep foam roller up here at chest level, not sagging down. I know we might not have the strongest runner arms, but I know all of you can hold up your foam roller. Good. Okay. Excellent. We just have a couple more things left. And then this day will be yours. All right. So let's switch our positions. We can get all the toys to the side. Our foam roller, we're going to need it again because we always finish with our back. But let's get into a plank. What we're going to do is get into a tall plank, squeeze glutes, push the ground away, and then we're going to walk it up into a down dog and then walk it back to a plank. We're going to do that for a full minute. So let's get started. If you feel like, oh my goodness, that's too long to hold a plank, hold the down dog a little longer. If you feel like, oh, but I like holding a plank a little longer, then hold those planks just a little bit longer before you push up into your down dog. So you choose, but what we're doing here, making our shoulders get to work, and in that down dog, get a stretch through the shoulders because our head goes through towards our knees. And making sure we've got all those muscles helping us with good posture working. We've got 20 more seconds. Good. Make sure you're not letting yourself sag when you're in that plank position. No one should be saggy dog. Up. Everything's nice and up here. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. All right. I think everyone is pretty near a wall. So let's all sit with our butt really close to the wall. You can try different positions, but we're going to get our legs up the wall here. And so one is just to hang out here, legs up the wall. So you can see I'm about maybe a foot. My butt is about a foot from the wall. We're going to have to play with this position. So now what I want you to do is take your right leg and get that leg to bend and put your right ankle over your left knee. So we're in that figure 4 position with your right side. Now we've got that leg up. Now what I want you to do is just drop that leg down the wall, slide it down the wall until you're at a point where it feels like, oh, that's a good stretch and I don't need to go anymore. So for some of you, you might need to get closer to the wall. For me, this is perfect. I don't have my leg fully bent. If I had it fully bent, I'd be in a position where I'm going to start singing soprano. I think I want to stay in the alto range here. So a little bit less than 90 for me, a bigger angle helps. So this depends on how close you are to the wall and how much mobility you've got there, how tight it is from whatever crazy things you were doing this weekend. All right, and then you can move it around. So see if you can take that foot, it's still on your knee, just drop everything towards the ground. So just rock that around, see how that feels. If it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. For me, it feels like I can deepen the stretch without making it painful. I don't know exactly the way to describe it, but if that feels good for you, do it. All right, and then let's switch to the other side. So get that foot up, get into a figure 4, slide your foot down the wall, see how this one feels. For those of you, if any of you have piriformis issues, this is a really good stretch for that, the little muscle that's like a comma in your butt. All right, and then breathing in this position. Hi, everyone, doing this on the recording. So glad you're here. All right, and go ahead and get that foot moving. See how that feels. And then our final move will be rolling our upper back, and we are donezo. So 10 more seconds here, and then we'll switch to rolling our back. Okay. And 3, 2, let's go ahead and finish up. So go ahead, grab your foam roller, get it to just under your rib cage or at the bottom of your rib cage. All right, so then I want you breathing in nice and deep. Start relaxed. If you get onto the foam roller and you feel like everything's clenching, guess what? Not going to be as effective. Want you to hold your head so that your neck is not getting sore while we do this, right? Support your neck through this, and then go ahead and just roll up and down your back. See how that feels. If you've got a spot that feels particularly sore, you can roll above and below it. You can use that foam roller to curve your back around. You can just rest on it while you take some deep breaths. You can do a shearing motion, that's side to side, while you're sort of pinning down the skin. That feels really good around my shoulder blades for me. So whatever it is for you, but let's just spend 30 more seconds here and then you're officially done, but you can keep going if you want. We never have enough time. You could do this a lot. Wouldn't it be great if we had time? Professional athletes do something like this every day, the end of our workouts. Oh, and then a nap. And then someone comes and cooks us very fancy, healthy meals. I would love that. All right, but alas, instead, I'm going to go look at everyone's cool workouts from the weekend. So I can't say I have it too bad. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. Stop the recording here.